Okay, going to record video here, going over your Sylvanas. So, just taking a look at team comps to start with. You guys have like offlane Abathur sort of. That's kind of interesting. They have double bruiser, solo damage Asmodan. Okay, so their kill pressure is really low. I don't see how they're going to win fights at all. I think basically it's going to be Sonya, probably Leap, and Muradin just trying to kill your Ana, would be my guess. But I think that you guys should be able to win fights pretty convincingly. Yeah, I don't see how their game plan is going to work very well. I'm curious whether you go Q or W build. I don't, first of all, like that you're Johanna with this talent, but yeah, like it'll be relatively sort of easy possibly to stack dagger off triple frontline. But also Q is very good sustain damage into hitting them at the same time. So I prefer Q in most games. Also, I don't know if this is Storm League. I think you sent it to me as Storm League, right? Not sure. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's not like a coordinated environment or anything, so. But the main problem I would see with going Dagger Quest is that Muradin might stun you out of your wave. Okay, so you do go Q. And then you might just die to like Sonya Ragnaros hitting you. Pretty much this game I think you're just going to want to kite and play super safe and play back. So right now immediately I would already start Q and putting autos into the Muradin, and then I would wait until I had 3 autos and I would W him. You pretty much start doing that. I think you could be auto-attacking in here a fair bit. In theory here, you would want to hit the Anduin or the Asmodan over the Muradin, because the Muradin's going to heal back up really easily. But this is fine. You almost get a kill here. First of all, definitely I would use Wave. I just want to go back real quick. I just want to see. So if I had been using Q and hitting him, I would dagger right about now. So that's about 17 seconds. Like I would dagger as soon as I had 4 or 5 stacks on my Q, because I want to get the first dagger out in this fight fast enough so that I can use the second one on the wave. So here you just kind of wait a little bit too long. So we used it, or we would have used it around 11 seconds. So you can see this is about when the 11 seconds would have been up, and then here's the other wave coming in. That then you could use it on here to spread on the minions. That way you just get 2 daggers off. You still can use one on a hero in the fight, but you can also get the wave clear from it. That's really important for Q build, is using dagger on waves and stuff pretty much. It's what your main purpose is to using it. I think you probably should have cast wave there to secure the kill, but it's good that you got the kill regardless, so just gonna move on with that. Same thing here, like especially after you already got 1 kill, your main priority here is to clear this wave and get to this wave faster than them. You don't really care about getting more kills. More kills in the early game, like, doesn't matter. Like, the respawn timers are so short, and there's nothing else for you to be doing anyway, so the goal is to get down here, clear this wave as fast as you can, and then just have Muradin sit in this bush, and you guys just want to create a wall, like right here on the map, where you control that entire area, because this wave is clear, you're standing like here, your tank is standing in here, so they can't rotate through here without risking dying, especially because you can clear the wave fast and then like loop around and stand over here with the Muradin. So they can't like forcefully try and pat their way down through you. They're going to have to either try and go around back through here and like loop around, or go around even through mid and come down like that. So that's your goal, and then if you can do that and control this, and they're slow enough clearing mid, which they probably are going to be because it's just Ragnaros and Asmodan who are, they're not like bad wave clear, but they're more late game wave clear, I would say. They kind of like scale into being better. Whereas like Kael'thas, Johanna, for example, are very good at the start. Is that if they're slow enough clearing mid and slow enough on this rotating path, like you can see, you guys going like this is a much shorter distance than having to go all the way around. Because you're going the same vertical distance, you're just adding a bunch of horizontal distance, right? On both ends. So it's a much longer time to go all the way around and loop around. And if that time is long enough, then these minions will die to towers before they can get there to get the XP. So yeah, that's the basic theory of how early game works. Again, I think you're still fighting too much here in mid. Like, these minions are going to be dying down here and there's nobody down here to soak. Your Johanna has the right idea coming down here to get this. She should be mounted, and she wants to control this bush, so it kind of is supposed to be on the DPS and the healer to get down here and get this XP. But overall, not too bad. Also, you want the lanes to be split up in like a 1-1-3, but you specifically want the second one person to be a DPS, because a healer and tank on their own don't really do much. Like, they're not really an effective threat or don't have any kill pressure or anything. A tank isn't going to kill somebody on their own and definitely not a healer, whereas a DPS on their own can still kind of threaten a kill, and then the tank and the healer together even still don't have enough kill pressure, so you want to have the other DPS with the tank and the healer in the 3-man to like have that be a complete unit. I call it like a holy trinity of like tank, DPS, healer, that you kind of need all three to like operate effectively, whereas then the DPS can be separate. Main goal for you is probably, first of all, between the two DPS, you need to know which one is either better in the lane or better at doing camps, or like needs globes or something. In theory, Kel'Thas would want globes, so he should probably be the one staying in the lane. He also has much better wave clear, and you're pretty good at killing minions and taking merc camps, so your goal would be to do this camp right at 1 minute as it spawns. So the main like pattern is you go mid, bot, mid, and this second mid wave crashes at around 50 seconds. And then you clear this within 10 seconds and go to your siege camp here. So yeah, because you guys don't have a tank with you, you don't have like control of bushes or vision or anything. So the Murden can like jump on you guys or whatever. You guys have to step up really far, which is a lot more unsafe for the squishies to do compared to a tank, things like that. So yeah, this wave is getting cleared kind of slow. You should just start this right now. You don't need a healer to help you. And this would then get pressure going in this lane, and that allows you to maybe do other camps. Or if they're slow doing their camp and you've already killed yours, you can invade theirs and things like that. So it means they have to like defend the mid lane camp that's already pushing and try and take their camp at the same time as you're invading it. And they can't like do both. It's like lose-lose choice where they're going to have to give up one side. So I wouldn't have used either. You could have just walked at him, queued, waited to W until you got the 5 stacks, and then WE instead of using the E from the bush or whatever, just because it's pretty slow moving, it's easier to react to. And you probably could have gotten like 1 or 2 autos at least on him, especially if the Johanna got a slow on him or something. I think you probably could have killed this guy, but it's not too bad to miss a kill. One thing is you want to spread your autos on both of the towers to disable both of them, because the longer you have more minions alive, like the more damage you'll do on a push like this. Another tip is use black arrows with Shadow Dagger, and you put the dagger on the gate, because the actual like dagger itself doesn't do that much damage. You can see 32. It's the spread that does the damage over time. That's a majority of the damage of the ability. So it's 162. And then, so you dagger the gate, you attack it once, and it spreads to both towers. And with your trade up, it'll instantly disable both towers, and then you just alternate attacks between them. Or it's only, only need 1 every 4 auto attacks. If you haven't seen my Sylvanas video or whatever, which I assume you probably have, you could go 3 into one and the 4th into the other and back and forth like that. If you wanted to focus down one tower, that's like technically better, but in this situation, it doesn't really matter. But this is less important compared to getting the merc camps, because these are like XP, and the sooner you get one of these, the sooner you'll get a second one, and the sooner you'll get a third one, and things like that. So it's like a snowball advantage thing that you can build up, whereas like if you get 4 of these over the game and your opponent only gets 2, you've gotten like 2 of them for free, basically. Whereas these towers, like, they're just a static thing. You're only ever going to kill this tower once. It's not like a snowballed thing that you build up an advantage for. So whether you take it at 1 minute or you take it at 4 minutes or something, you're still only ever killing it once. So like killing it later isn't really a loss, whereas killing these later is a loss because you're going to get less of them over the course of a game. So that's why your main priority is merc camps and stuff. And it creates pressure for the opponent a lot more directly as well, like I already mentioned. Here, if you have a guy running at you, I would probably just wave this way, just to get away from him or whatever. Just because you don't want to get slammed, you don't want to take this magma wave thing instead of kiting back. I think you can probably still fight him a little bit and get a kill, but again, yeah, you have the right idea here. Same concept, so yeah, that's fine. Just without a healer, you don't really want to take too much of your health and have to go back or to use tap before the first objective or something. You did it early enough here that it's fine. But but normally that's another consideration. So you guys still haven't gotten this camp, which I don't like. You're trading into the Murden, that's fine. So yeah, after you do this camp, then you just kind of like wait around and see what your opponents are doing and if they've gotten their camp at the same time as you and things like that. If you get a kill, you can look at doing the bottom camp, things like that. But then the other main priority is doing the bruiser camp before the first objective. So the way to think about this is there's like a midline on the map, and any camps that are not on the midline are favored for one team to take, and any favored camp you can almost always take before every objective, pretty much. Whereas any camp that's on the midline, so I would describe this as like a red team camp, this is a red team camp, this is a blue team camp, this is a blue team camp, this I would describe as a neutral camp, or like a contested camp. These you won't always have the ability to get before an objective. Some of your examples are like the Battlefield of Eternity shamans are like favored, whereas the Impaler camps are like neutral, basically. So you'll always be able to get these two camps before objectives, and you should expect the other team to also get both of their camps before objective, and the objective spawns at 3 minutes. But this camp, it may or may not be taken, basically, whether there's time, whether one team has enough of an advantage, because the problem is if you don't have that advantage and you start taking it, you'll probably end up in a big fight over this, and it's probably not at your advantage to try and fight over it when you could just be building a lead by doing some other stuff. And there's a pretty high risk that like the other team fights you and they win the camp or something, and then it's like not only did you give them a camp for free, but you also give them kills and wasted a bunch of your own time at the same time. So if the other team is going to win a fight getting this camp, you would rather just give it to them for free and then clear it for free, rather than like risking a fight over it, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like high risk for no reward, or like medium risk for no reward. So yeah, but this is good stun. You can follow up here. You could even E through him and try and get over on this side of him. It would get you away from the Murden. You would have a mine that you could path through to escape. And also you could potentially just body block the Enduin, and just sending the wave through him is an additional like 128 damage or whatever. So I think you guys can look for this kill, and you have your cooldowns up in 2 seconds. So you don't want to like be all the way back here and then trying to wave back in, because he's beelining it for his gate at this point. Like, you don't want to be doubling back and there's a word for it, backtracking. Because it's basically just lost distance and lost time. So by running away and putting the wave over here, you're like not actually backtracking, because the wave is always going to spend that time traveling over here, and then you could finish him off with your 2 main damage cooldowns in 2 seconds, I think. So I think this is possibly also a missed kill. Team might get it anyway. Yep. Okay, so that's fine. Not dodging the Asmodean Q isn't a big deal. You're not selecting level 4 talent, so yeah, you should ideally pretty much know what talent you're going to pick beforehand. Like, when you pick the level 1 talent, you should do before the start of the game or whatever, when you're just sitting here by the gate, but then you should already be thinking, like, during that time, what's going to be my level 4 talent? And then when I hit level 4 is when I start thinking what's going to be my level 7 talent. What am I going to want? Sometimes you won't know, but like 95% of the time you should be able to figure it out and then be able to like lock it pretty much instantly. So I think you took a little bit extra damage on this than you would have wanted to, and you used trait here when you probably wouldn't have had to. It's easier to use trait to defend than it is to use it to... I would call this an offensive use of it, like you're using it to get something yourself. It's better to use it to disable opponents' camps or whatever, so that they get 0 value from this. And then, yeah, you should just E over this wall and take it immediately. Part of the reason why it's bad to like delay this camp is now you don't have enough time to take both of these anymore. You only have time to do one, and your team is off doing other dumb bullshit that now they're not anchoring this bush for you. You don't have a healer nearby, and you're free to get invaded, basically. So this is partially your fault for not doing it earlier when you could have soloed it, and partially your team's fault. But so yeah, I would have gone over this wall. Going this way is a bit risky because, yeah, other people could be over here in these bushes, so I imagine you probably die here. Yep, that's unfortunate, but just a mistake on your part. It's pretty avoidable. Oh yeah, you had sent me a note about this. I wanted to just look at that real quick. Camp early on was a bad idea. Should have backed off the second you saw your team wasn't coming to help, even before bot and mid laner on enemy team disappeared. Yeah, sort of like that. You got the basic idea, so... But now you can see, downside is they're going to have 2 camps pushing. You're dead, so you're not able to defend them. Nobody's soaking bottom lane. Your Abathur has to go do that. and they're up top lane just fighting over nothing. Like, they're just getting XP that you would get anyways, instead of getting a camp that would build them a lead on the objective or something. On these objectives, you always want to have the lane below the objective. So like on mid, it's always on the middle shrine, you always want to have the mid minions. You want to have them pushed up in the lane. So like you would want the minions to be meeting over here. And what that does is it gives you vision of anybody who's going to be coming into this bush. It funnels them all if they want to come onto the thing in like this tiny little choke. And it's really easy if you control these two bushes on the objectives, or just the bottom bush in general on the other objectives. That's really powerful at making it hard for the other team to come onto the objective. And once one team has a lead on this, it's really hard to come back once the other team has like a sufficiently big lead. A way to think about this that I've said in coaching videos in the past is that if you have, like, if you think of yourself as like, we're the team that's behind, like right now you are by about 80% of a level, I would say. You're like, okay, well, even though we're behind, if we had like 35 minions out of 40 and they only had 0, can we still win that shrine? And the chances are yes. Okay, what about 30? Could we still win? Okay, probably. What about 25? What about 20? And at some point there's a break point in that where you build a big enough number where it doesn't matter how behind you are, you can win that objective, basically. It might not still be the right thing to do, but the easier it becomes to win the objective, the bigger the lead you have at the start. So building a lead to start with before the other team can actually step up and react to it, like they still have one of their dudes down here. You have a global, so that's kind of nice that you can have. Abathur's value is kind of like half a hero before level 10, so it's like a 4.5 versus 5 up here. But your Johanna isn't here also. Your Ana is not here also. So unfortunately, the other team is going to be the one that gets the lead, and you guys aren't really going to be able to do much, especially without Johanna. You can't just face check bushes, so you have no real chance of stepping up onto this. So what instead you should do is probably just go to the other lanes and just try and push those. Because yeah, there's not much you can do here. It's just you're wasting 3 people's time instead of like 1 to get the XP, because they're still going to win 40 minions here at about the same time. Yeah, and Johanna's now coming up like after it's way too late and there's nothing to do. Would have been better if she'd just stayed bottom. You could have maybe gotten this camp or something and had that pushing the trade and then come back up to defend. So yeah, it should be you or Johanna here that is able to bait the Punisher jump over the wall. That way it gets focused by 3 towers at once. You're just pumping damage into Muradin, that's fine. You're not going to get hit by a frozen thing. So I like Barbed Shot personally. I see a lot of other people go Lost Soul. I think they're both viable, it's just kind of preference. But it's up to you which one you want to go. But you should be able to snap pick that at level 7. And that would help you in all his fighting, even a little bit. So you go Barbed Shot, it's cool. It's going to jump again soon. So yeah, the jump is on a 15-second cooldown. So once you see the first one, you can time the rest of them. And it always goes on like the closest person to it, so that's why it went on Johanna here. So you can predict that to know when it's going to do it. You can use that offensively too to know when it's going to jump a second time for your team or whatever, but it also means you can stand not nearby the person and not get hit by the stun and the damage and stuff. So here it jumps again, all these circles are spawning. At this point I would just stutter step and back up. So you do that pretty well. Here you still need to be stutter stepping backwards. At this point, if you still want to like finish this off and pump damage into it, you can at the very least send a wave backward. So yeah, here I think you were just kind of a little bit slow to react. You got hit by the root. So yeah, definitely throw a wave at this point. Oh, it times out during the stun. I see, that's kind of unfortunate. And then you get stunned again. You live here. You just got to keep running at this point. It's your only real hope. Oh wow, you survive anyway. Okay, but Ana died for you kind of, so still pretty rough. He should not be stepping out. There's nothing for him to step out for. Yeah, this is a little bit sketchy. If anything, I would just go down through here. If they're going to take this camp, like, your Ana's dead, your Johanna's back, you're at half HP, Kel'Thas is at half HP, you guys aren't going to be able to fight over this. So you either just have to give it to them and try and get the mid lane soak. You're trying to do it. Without Ana here, this is a bit risky. Oh, they're only doing it 3 people. I see. That's why you're able to do this. Okay, well, they should have had 4 people here to do this. That's their mistake. It's like first of all, it's your mistake to fight them. Second of all, it's their mistake to not do this with 4 people. So now you can actually win this, but that doesn't make either of you correct. So it's like a double-sided mistake here, but this is going to work out. This is like an opportunity for you to get back in the game. She'll die pretty much at this point to the dot damage, or she's like chunked out, so it doesn't really matter about chasing her. So yeah, waving forward, you can kill this guy. Good stun. You can chase the Murden now. Unfortunately, you're going to get slowed by his thing, so he's probably going to get away. Yeah, okay, so now you just need to go mid ASAP and defend those camps. You don't want them to be able to invade and take that camp a second time, and you don't need people pushing top lane. It's just kind of a waste of resources. You only need one person up there to soak. Ana is not a safe person to be out that far in a lane soaking, though. That should definitely be somebody else. She missed the sleep dart. That's fine. You're letting Johanna lead rotation now, which is good. Johanna should just go stand in this bush, and you should be the one killing this. That way you have vision of the bush. But it's the right idea to do this camp. You just don't need Johanna's damage on it. Like, she speeds it up 2 seconds faster or whatever, but there's a risk that they're all just standing in this bush ready to kill you as soon as the camp is low. She gets stunned, she gets rooted, but she's Johanna, so it's fine. You're just poking damage into Murden. Again, this is kind of like fake damage, like it's mostly going to get healed up, but the Murden has been playing pretty over-aggressive. I think you've already killed him twice, right? You killed him once and doing twice, yeah. So, damage, it's free damage, so it's always good to get it where you can. You guys want to defend this. Johanna shouldn't be leaving right now. Kael'thas can solo this camp. Like, he's already soloing it. It's fine. The Johanna doesn't need to be bottom. The wave is already pushed super far in. This is the wave that crashes first, and you want to defend your camp right now. So if Johanna was standing in this bush, you could still be controlling this and defending your camp, and you could throw a dagger on this wave and clear it instantly, and then these impalers would start hitting the towers. Or they start tanking it as the heroes, and then you get even more free damage. But yeah, you can't have yourself or Ana stepping out this far when they have like Murden like that, and you don't have vision control. Good dodge on the meatball. Still pumping damage to Murden. Get it by stun, it's fine. Doesn't matter. As long as they don't really have any ability to follow up, you're still pretty safe. You should throw dagger on the wave to kill it faster though. Right idea. I would have probably waited until I had 5 stacks of ki before throwing dagger here. If the heroes are nearby, you can wait before using dagger. But it's the right idea. It's the really minor optimization that you don't need to worry about. The problem is Kael'thas and Johanna swapped when it should be Kael'thas down here still and Johanna mid. And you guys could actually look for a kill if you had Blessed Shield on like Ragnaros or Murden or something, but your Johanna doesn't really know how to play her role. This is a really good silence. You could have possibly hit 4 people here. The main person is, I would have wanted to, if I'm only going to hit 3, I would have wanted to hit the Anduin and not the Sonya. The Ragnaros isn't super important either. It's mostly the healer that you want to silence in a fight like that, but they died fast enough anyway, and you got a kill on Anduin anyway, so this worked out. It's good poking her to disable her mount again. They got a stun, they're going to kill him, that's good. Use black arrows here. Yeah, this is fine. Your team should be following up and pushing with you. But yeah, this is a good use of it. Killing the Asmodean minion's good. Kael'thas doesn't need to go up here, like you already have Abathur right there. He's just wasting a whole bunch of time in making this like 3v3. So your Kael'thas is throwing really hard. It's good you guys are just focusing objective though. That use of E was over aggressive, I think. You're full mana, so it's kind of fine, but yeah, getting the wave XP is good, or just building as much of a lead on this as you can. But you were never killing Sonya in that situation, so if anything, I would just save my E in case Murden's back alive or something and jumps on me. Yep, now Q and just start poking autos into her. Standing behind minions is good so that you don't get speared. She did go leap, so you might need to precast E, especially if you clump near your team. So like right now, if I was standing up over here, I would probably precast E backward, and that way I could possibly react to a leap coming out. Because it looks like they're being over-aggressive now, because Kael'thas showed top lane for no reason, so they know they're a 4v3. He's gonna Stormbolt you now. You're kind of waiting for your ults also, but Abathur needs to clone, and he should probably clone you at this point, because Kael'thas is too far away. Yeah, Abathur needs to clone really soon. You're level 13 here. It should definitely be Remorseless, I think. Yeah, I think it should definitely be Remorseless this game. It's really easy to hit off front line, and it just adds so much damage. You're kind of getting hit by a lot of, okay, you do go Remorseless. By the Asmodean Q. You can avoid them. You shouldn't use your E to avoid them, most likely, but just stutter stepping a bit more, like, ready to react to it, or clumping around your team a bit less would help with that. So yeah, the Johanna's not controlling vision very well, like, you don't have vision of this bush, so the Kalos takes a whole bunch of damage. He's, like, chunked out of the fight to start with. You still don't have... Oh, he went Monstrosity. No wonder he's not cloning anybody. Okay. Well, that makes fights a lot harder for you. Hitting the Murden here is good. He'll die to that. It's good. Yep, hitting Asmodan's good here. Good use of Dagger. You have Wailing back up. This is a good E forward. Nice. I would have saved the Wailing Arrow. Even if you don't kill the Asmodan there, it's fine if he lives at 10% HP. I would have saved the Silence to use on one of these two, that you could probably kill them, especially the Sonya, who looks like she might kill my Johanna here. That having a Silence on her would be really nice. Or the Ana. Good stun by Kael'thas. So I think Johanna's too low. I can't see. Yeah. So you're going to have to bait the Punisher jump now. So you just precast E and then take it when you get in range of the jump or whatever. The jump is like about your auto attack range with Remorseless. It's about 6 range. So like if you stepped like a little bit closer, it would jump on you basically. So you just precast E right now, and then you walk forward into auto range, and then as soon as you like see it jump or whatever, you press E back. Or as soon as you see your auto animation go off. It shouldn't jump on Kael'thas here, especially because he doesn't have mana shield, so he can't take the damage from it. So yeah, it's going to chunk him super hard. And then yeah, you just auto spam Q on it, pretty much. That's all you got to do at this point. Try not to take damage from the fires. You should time it to when it's going to jump again. You could have dodged the second one and also not taken a big chunk of damage. You should probably get leapt on and die for this. Oh, she used leap already. I'm not sure on what. I didn't see that. But regardless, they should have been able to, or should have been looking for you and been able to like spear you or something there off that second jump and killed you. So it's pretty much your only use of using E defensively. Standing in and taking a lot of poke damage there. Fighting into the Rag Fort is kind of rough, but you guys do get a kill, and so far you're living, so that's good. Yep, use dagger, spread on the whole wave. I'm pretty sure their team is doing this camp or this camp right now. Looks like it's bottom camp because we saw Ragnaros on the minimap. You do see 3 of them mid, so that's good. I don't know that I would feel safe enough trying to look at doing this camp. Maybe if I had an Abahat, it would be fine. And you do have Wailing in 5 seconds. And you can always E out, probably. Okay, maybe you're fine. But I think you could only do this if you knew it was only Ragnaros here, because if, like, Murden and, like, somebody else is, like, sitting in this bush, you probably die if you step up too far here and they're waiting for you. But it's fine. Didn't really lose anything from it. You guys are going to be 16 first. Yep, you want to spread your autos here, or use dagger with your trait. I showed the double dagger trick thing in one of my YouTube videos, that you can get 2 spreads so that you can disable the whole wave here for the entire duration of your trait, pretty much. Yeah, this Asmodan, or this Kael'thas is stepping up way too far. Backing here is kind of risky. Okay, they didn't see, so it's fine. You go Life Drain, I think that's fine. I think also Will of the Forsaken would probably be pretty good here. That way, what happens up here doesn't happen again, where you send your E and then get stunned for the whole duration and can't take the E. You can E and then press this button, and it guarantees that you'll get the dash off and be able to dash to safety. Or just, like, all 3 of these are good. It's just situational preference, but I've been leaning more and more towards Will of the Forsaken lately myself, so. You want to clear this wave first, and Murden's pushing it. Again, I would Q and get 5 stacks if there's a hero before Wing on the wave. That way you just get a bit more damage out of it, but not too big a deal. Good, dodge that Asmodan Q. They're out really far without Johanna. Pathing through here was also pretty risky. I would have gone around. Yeah, you could use E over the wall here to check. it looks like they're going to be fighting soon, and I would want my E off cooldown, so I just maybe would ignore this and not care if they're doing this or not. Because like if they are doing it, it just means we're going to be able to fight 4v3 or 4v2 on these guys and probably kill them before they can react coming from that camp. So, but it's also not bad to have checked that, and good dodge on the Esmond Q here. All right, you got Avatar already, so that's good. Can poke some damage into him. You could have maybe looked to silence him earlier so he couldn't jump out or get Anduin pulled. I think because the rest of your team was using ults, that was probably worth doing, because now he probably lives. Really good sleep by Ana to kill the Anduin, though. Yeah, here's a great time to use Black Arrows so that you can tank these towers. This is what you should have done before the patch, but now that the towers are changed, this is absolutely what you should do. Just start hitting Murden now. It'll bounce to this, or you can W, or Dagger, yeah, to stun the gate. He stuns you, and you're tanking it now. You just used a short E there. You could have let it go a little bit further and gone out over here, but it's fine. I don't know why your Kael'thas is mounted and going for the camp now. Okay, now it's fine after the rest of your team is able to back off, but you were definitely still fighting. Wither is in a very funny place. It's good he didn't get Asmodean. It might have one-shot him. Almost. Okay, so you guys want to be able to clear this, and again, you want your wave pushed up on the objective here. So don't worry about pushing with this camp. Kael'thas needs to leave like as soon as he clears this. You guys all need to come up and clear this, and then try and push the wave up so that you can contest the objective here. Or the other option is, because this is the last fight pre-20, and I do think you guys probably have a stronger late game, is that, or you just all 5 commit to pushing down here. Those are your 2 options, really. Or I guess 4 if you push to commit to pushing. Wow, can't talk. He used monstrosity up here. It's not going to help you much in the fight. You dug back bottom, that's fine. Yeah, clear these minions first. Minions first. Minions first. Minions first. Then you pressure up once the wave is pushed. You got hit by root because like, and Johanna should not be chasing in deep here. Johanna needs to control these bushes and control the escape paths, not dive in looking for a person in a bush who doesn't exist. Like, this is not her job. She's not a melee DPS. She's like the tank. I don't know. She doesn't need to focus on trying to kill the Murden. She just needs to control the bushes in this vision and stuff. The Phoenix kind of does it for her in the end, but she tanks so much damage doing that that now she's low and has to like back up. But you're killing Murden faster. Again, they just have like no damage this game, so I don't really see how they ever kill you. Like, that's why they have 2 kills and you have 13. Yep, just poke autos into her, just kite her back. Completely fine. Johanna, again, is like in way too deep. She needs to be over here controlling this bush and like giving her team a way back in on the point. She's way too far away from the Ana also, and now you guys are like clumping yourself in chokes, and she's taking too much damage because she can't get healed. Really good flame strikes. That's a really good silence. Yep, chase in with E, finish off the Anduin first probably. Yep, good, stop hitting him. Start focusing with the Sonya. Yep, that's good. I like taking that E forward aggressively just to keep the pressure up. So yeah, you guys won this objective pretty strongly, I would say. Yeah, here this is really good of you to like stay spread from your team so you don't get leapt on. It's good stun by Kael'thas. Yeah, pressuring the Sonya, she can't get a leap off there. Good poking damage in. This is fine. So yeah, like now obviously you can't do the dagger trick, so you're just gonna have to walk in and auto both of them once. Or auto, stand close to one to Q it and auto the other one. So like right now this Q should go on here and auto here, but I think it'll target heroes maybe, so. Now that kind of works. So Ragnaros counts as a hero when he's in the fort. So you can bounce remorseless shots off of him or hit him with remorseless shots like off other heroes or whatever. So hitting him in the fort is a pretty good way. You burn it like pretty fast. Having black arrows, you do want to refresh on the forts there. But yeah, fighting into a rag fort is pretty hard. Something else you could have done, or Johanna could have done, is try and stun him out of the fort. Or you would be Wailing Arrow, save Wailing Arrow for it. But I think he used Wailing Arrow better in the fight beforehand, so I think it's fine that he got it off this time. So I didn't see if the Punisher already jumped a second time. I think he did. Okay. Yeah, your Kael'thas is just taking so much damage. How did he even die here? He's just stepping up too much and getting stunned. The problem is he went Convection instead of Mana Shield. He missed a stun, he gets stunned. Oh, and he takes aggro on the turret. No wonder he dies. Okay, he's just a dumbass. You're also tanking now. You back off, that's good. The Punisher jumps and interrupts the Anduin ult. It's funny. You have Wailing Arrow back up. You guys maybe could have kept fighting, but without... yeah, with the Kel'Thas dead, it's really hard, so this is fair. Yeah, I would, like, as soon as you know that you're stepping up aggressively here, you should know that you might want to preemptively E forward, and as soon as right now you see that the Murden running towards you and you start running back, you know this will die at this point, already cast E over here. Like, you wait probably 3 or 4 seconds here before casting your E, and you get stunned because of it. You're still going to get away. Oh, no, not quite. So yeah, this also would have been a time where maybe the Forsaken was better. Although you are leeching a bunch of life. This is good use of Wailing here. It's going to prevent him from doing anything to you. He already jumped in, so I thought you could get the kill there, but you didn't really stutter step forward as much. But I think it's fine if he gets away. It's not a big deal. Or maybe if you snap pick Bolt, you could have picked him off, actually. Go back. Take out that camp. He gets pulled away. Lava wave top. He gets speared out of the air. So yeah, this is like a good use of E. Just take this right now, no matter what. Because you don't want to have it be expired on cooldown and get stunned, because then you're like 100% dead. So you just always take this. You just end your own trade. Okay, good. I just wanted to like really emphasize that as a point. It's often better to lose out on damage in a trade that you maybe could have gotten if you've already cast E. You just almost always take it out. Yep, good. Here I would just focus into the Azmodan primarily. Get out of range of the laser so you don't take too much damage. They should have turned on the Johanna, but they didn't, so that's fine. It's even 20 to 20 now. Your Abathur is actually insane. Okay. So yep, same thing here. This is good. This is better than what you did last time. I would have waited for it to maybe go a little further, or I would have just sent it further to the right instead of at that weird sort of angle that maybe it wouldn't have gone all the way through the fort. But if it had gone all the way through the fort, wait to take it until it's after that. But this is fine. Yep, that was his own fault. He's being hella greedy. He's playing like some weird dumb split push Abathur build instead of just going the normal hat build thing. And clone. You should mount up more. Like, have it as a habit that you just always press Z and you're always mounted if you're not fighting, basically. It lets you like dodge the Azmodan Q stuff way easier, dodge Sonya Spear, just because you're moving faster, it's like easier to juke around and dodge stuff. Maybe. Indeed. Here, yeah, already send an E backwards in case she's gonna spear or jump on you or something. You can bolt it too, but like, this is 7-second cooldown, this is an 11-second cooldown, right? So, you don't want to use this really unless you like absolutely have to. This is the button you should use first. So yeah. But just stepping up here is kind of aggressive, I think. Your Johanna's not controlling the front line very well at all. That's a good E. You could have almost gotten rooted there, so I would still have stutter stepped while you're using the E. And it's often better to like stutter step forward and at like a weird diagonal angle away from the wave, so that the distance you have to take it is like, it creates more separation, right? Because you're like pulling them this way while the wave is going this way, pulling them left while the wave goes right kind of thing. So it creates more overall distance. Great silence. Get the Anduin ult off of it. It looked like it actually didn't hit the Murden, which is weird. Yeah, you can wave through the lava wave there to take a little bit less damage. Getting hit by a lot of stuns. Good bolt forward. Yeah, good E. You could wait to take the E a little bit further and even body block them, possibly. Or, you know, maybe he turns around to try and stun you so that you can't wave forward and then you wave through the stun while you're unstoppable and stuff. So yeah, this bot camp is free. Then you do the next objective. This is all pretty set in stone at this point. Ana should just back. It's going to take too long to heal herself up. She could have been back here already at full HP. You really want to have people controlling the bushes. Johanna should be standing over here, and you should be standing down here probably. You do not need to worry about mid-wave right now. If anything, that's Abathur's job. But yeah, they see you show on the map doing that now they can step up. You don't have control of this bottom bush and not control of this bush at all. Johanna's really messed up. And Anna didn't go back, so she's been sitting at this low of health the whole time, so she took a tiny bit of poke, and now she's like in one-shot range. Kael'thas gets slept on because he steps up way too far the whole game, even though he has Flamestrike range. You're just pumping damage into the Sonya. That's good. I don't know why you waved forward here. Just want to watch this again. Okay, so he gets nanoed, he's stunned. So now he's just turning around, pumping as much damage. Does she Ariat Crater? Oh, she is, okay. I was like, can he not move? Is that why he's standing still? And yes, that is correct. Okay. So you Haunting Wave here just for damage. You're also not spamming Q. I don't think you needed to do this for damage. If you were going to use it for damage, I would have aimed it this way and just like fully committed that we're just killing their whole team. Yeah, it's kind of the same idea. Okay, yeah, I think what you did is fine. Blink forward, yeah, good. Finish him off. Cool. You have Wailing still. I think you can go over here and you can definitely 1v1 finish them off. This camp isn't that important. I mean, you can take them both at this point. You can hold at 39 here. But yeah, this is the worry, is you need to press E back towards your team at this point. Not get murdered and stunned, because there's a chance you die. Just a little bit slow on the E there. Yeah, silence both of them, I think, at this point. Or look for the Anduin once you see him, and silence. I mean, you could triple silence here. But yeah, you just popped it slightly too early, but yeah, this is fine. You guys should win this. Yeah, see, you would have wanted to save the silence for the Anduin, but that's fine. Imagine if your Ana was full HP and full mana this whole fight, like, it would have been so much easier. Your Ana could step up and have healed so much more. You just gotta kite back, spam W. Yeah. The Ana couldn't step up and heal as much. Your Kael'thas died unnecessarily. Honestly, this would have been so much easier if Abathur wasn't just like randomly doing this bullshit and actually hatting people. Because yeah, that's what he's doing during this whole fight. But you guys win this instead. Yeah, this camp wasn't important. At least you got this. You would have rather got this and gotten all 5 people alive, though. And you can give them this camp, you don't even care. So I think that fight was kind of not worth in hindsight, especially, but it's not too bad. A lot of it is on your Ana, Johanna, and Abathur for controlling, and Kael'thas. It's not just you. But yeah, now you can't really push with that. They don't have any damage. Kael'thas went top for some reason. Why did he go top? He's defending a keep that's already dead. Which is what Abathur should have been defending this whole time, and wasn't? Is that what's happening? Pretty much. Okay, cool. Kael'thas is out way too far, he's gonna die. You just assume he's dead at this point and go for these camps. And ping him back. Like, you can see they're coming for him. You should have gotten rooted and killed. Or he's dead anyway? Yep, alright, he's trolling. You get that camp. They're gonna get this camp now because you have one person dead. They're gonna get top keep, and this is where you just have to defend core. Don't worry about pushing with your mid camp. Johanna can't step, like, she's willingly stepping forward into a 4v5. She sees Ragnaros, but still, like, this is so pointless and dumb, and does not need to happen. You're wasting nano already, you're getting rooted. This is 100% dead. They should have killed this instead of taking the camp even. You can do the camp after. Because this was dead 100%. The mealing didn't matter, but you guys are also, like, trying to throw as hard as you can by stepping up like that. You can't face check first. You need Johanna to be mounted and face check here. Like, you cannot step into this. They're showing 3 bottom. Okay, now you can step up into it. But until 2 seconds ago, you could not have. Did you see them before that? Was I just wrong? See them bot side. They showed like 3 people mid. They could easily have gone up to here, I think. Okay, now you see 3 bottom. Okay, it's pretty close. I would have been more hesitant until I saw them. And the question is, how soon do you need to be bottom to defend? They're already on the wall. Yeah, you kind of want to be bottom like earlier than this. This Abathur is stupid and insane. He's actually just trolling and trying to lose the game. He should never be burrowed past the halfway point on the map, pretty much. He's just being dumb. Like, the Ragnaros is just stalling you at this point so that they get better push bot lane, and they're going to get a second keep. You get a silence on him on the fort. I mean, that's good, but it's not going to let you do core or anything. They still have a better push than you guys do, I think. He had to use Phoenix. You'd rather not him have to do that. You guys need to leave at this point. If you get leapt on, you're probably dead. Just start hitting the Anduin. Yeah. The Anduin will take a bunch of damage. Oh, you Eden, you're insane. You don't have Wailing to interrupt the thing. And you used your E already to get out and blink. Yeah, so you're stuck in the crater. Yeah, this is just way over aggressive. You always need to save some way to get out there, basically. And I think you just should have gotten out beforehand, regardless. Honestly, I feel like most of this game isn't on you. It's on your team. Except for that, maybe. That was just the main throw that kind of sealed the deal, I feel like. Yeah, because now you're dead for this whole objective. Yeah, okay, so that's like actually the throw that lost the game, technically. But you guys threw a lot of times earlier, or should have thrown earlier, that they didn't really punish as much as they should have. I mean, the problem with that is their comp is bad at punishing you because their comp is trolling, but your team is also trolling. Okay, you're just hitting Murden at this point. Johanna's stepping way too far in again, not playing to peel for you and defend your front line. You guys need to not group all together, you're going to get leapt on and murdered again. Okay. Johanna still needs to be kiting out and defending your front line here, and she's not. I think the main thing you're looking to silence is the Anduin ult always, right? Or Murden ult and jumping away if you're looking for a kill on him. But I'm not sure why you used silence there. And it wasn't on the Anduin ult, but that's fine. So yep, she gets slept on and dies. Your Johanna's too far forward and taking a whole bunch of damage and not peeling for the Ana, so she's not getting healed, so she's gonna die too. And then you died. They're probably eventually gonna kill Kalthos because you can't defend this at this point. And that's how the game ends? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, mostly it was just, I think the lack of macro in the early game hurt a lot, because you guys only got this camp, I think, once? Twice? You guys could have gotten this camp like 6 times over the course of this game or something. And like, the front wall is still alive, right? There's 2 camps that push the front wall. Like, you should be able to probably kill the wall in this fort like almost every single game, just by taking this camp on cooldown. And then you didn't really set up for a lot of the early objectives and macro very well. Part of that's just because your teammates are bad, but part of that was on you. Aside from that, like, in fights, mostly it was fine. I think you could have used E more preemptively or better in like most fights, but your Q and W is pretty good usage, and you hit good wailing arrows. I think you could have saved them a little bit more on the Anduin, but other than that, that was pretty good. You used Bolt pretty well, and I think you could save Black Arrows a little bit more, mostly when you're doing camps and stuff, but used it pretty well on pushes and stuff like that. It was just your team didn't really follow up. Like, you used it mid lane, and you probably should have been able to get the wall, but you didn't. And then you just threw late game. Like, that's really all it comes down to. Most of your fights and stuff were pretty fine. It's just a lot of minor optimizations and stuff that add up over the course of the game, and like playing macro and stuff. But again, some of that, it's like you're at the mercy of your team knowing how to play their role. He just straight died 100-0 from a meatball. What a guy. Alright. And yeah, your Abathur is probably hardest trolling most of all. He like actually just made this game a 4v5, pretty much. So yeah, if this Abathur player was like any other hero, or he just played Abathur the normal way, this game probably would have been over ever before this point, I think. So yeah. That's all I got. Let me know if that helps or you have any other questions.